For more information or to sign up today, visit us at floatplan1.com. In the event of a distress at sea, a float plan filed with a responsible friend or family member on shore is crucial to helping the Coast Guard respond in a timely manner. Filing a float plan could possibly save a life. Yep, that's the official word from the United States Coast Guard, all right. And they're not alone. Everybody who's anybody in boating safety, national and international organizations, insurance companies, state and local agencies, search and rescue first responders, journalists, and virtually every boating safety instructor anywhere in the USA or Canada, they all adamantly agree. Float plans save lives. In theory. In actual fact, however, what they should be saying is float plans would save lives if more people actually used them. You see, no matter how much everybody tells us to, the plain truth is that most of us just plain don't. The estimate from those same experts is that perhaps only 5% of all boaters actually make out and file a float plan every time they leave port. And that means a whopping 95% don't. Why not? Let's take a look. First, picture the moment. You're ready to go out on your boat, fishing, cruising, or for any kind of fun. A sporty cruiser, a sleek sailboat, a small skiff, a long-range trawler, a peppy bass boat, a keen kayak, a pleasing pontoon boat, a perky PWC. Well, you name it. What's tops on your mind? Fun, relaxation, friends, good times. So be honest. Where does filling in a bunch of paperwork with lots of facts and figures enter into that? Answer? For anyone other than those 5% we just mentioned? Nowhere. We boat to have fun, not to fill out forms. We get enough of paperwork in our day jobs and our non-recreational lives, right? So, as much as we are told, and as much as we all should know, that doing a float plan can potentially save our lives, for most of us it just doesn't happen because it is a hassle, pure and simple. And we don't boat to have hassles, we boat to have fun. Next, let's say we do the right thing, fill in the form, and there are a bunch of different ones to choose from, put out by all those same agencies and experts we mentioned before, all similar, but all different. So how do you know which one to choose? And we've now got that completed paperwork ready to what exactly? File? Where? With who? You see, unlike airplane flight plans, which get filed with the FAA, there is no government agency or office that you must or even can file a float plan with, not even the United States Coast Guard itself. No law compels it. Nobody's there to accept it. No, the concept is that you give this form to a friend who isn't going on the trip, probably isn't a boater, probably has no concept of the terminology and facts it contains, and tell them that if you don't come back someday, they should tell somebody and give that somebody the form. Who should they contact? When should they do it? How should they explain all this on the phone when they don't really understand it themselves? Good questions, and ones that will probably make that onshore friend or relative pretty nervous about the whole thing, and perhaps not even willing to accept the responsibility in the first place. If you think that doing paperwork before every boating trip is no fun, imagine how little fun it is to be the person you stick the paperwork and the responsibility with. So, it's no fun. It's not easy. It's not easy to do something with if you do it. Nobody in authority wants it when you do. It makes your friends and your family nervous or confused or both. And to top it all off, this wonderful, important, and life-saving activity called a float plan is totally and completely voluntary. And that's probably the biggest reason for that pitiful 95% figure that the experts say mostly do not do it. Nobody forces them to. There's no law that says this vital safety procedure, potentially just as life-saving as the ones they do compel by law, such as having life preservers or flares, is required. It is totally voluntary. And when it comes to inconvenient paperwork and iffy process, let's face it, people, we just plain don't volunteer. But remember what the Coast Guard says. Why should you take the time to prepare a float plan? The answer is simple. There are just too many facts that need to be accurately remembered and ultimately conveyed in an emergency situation. Without a float plan, you are counting on someone else, a friend, a neighbor, or family member, to remember detailed information that rescue personnel need in order to find you. Information that can make a difference in the outcome. Who should prepare a float plan? Don't think for a minute that this is a device only for those with big, expensive boats. A float plan is equally effective for the owner of a 10-foot kayak or flat-bottom skiff as it is for a 48-foot express cruiser or 90-foot sport fishing vessel or luxury yacht. So, what kind of boaters prepare float plans? Kayakers, sports fishermen, hunters, jet skiers, water skiers, family day cruisers, private charter boat services, canoeists, rowers, rafters, sailboaters, powerboaters, Okay, we get the idea. So, we've got a big problem here, people. A potentially deadly problem. And after all these years of telling people about it, the experts and the authorities and the writers and the groups haven't figured out a way to solve this problem at all. So we did. We solved it for you. It's called Float Plan 1, the app that can save your life. Float Plan 1 didn't invent the float plan. We just made it work. Let's clear the air about one thing right off the bat. This is still a voluntary activity. You still have to choose to do it. What we've done is remove the reasons not to and added a whole lot of reasons it can be not only easy, quick, simple, and comprehensive to do the Float Plan 1 way of float planning, we have actually made it cool and high-tech and, yes, fun. When you join Float Plan 1 as a member captain, you're not only going to enjoy being safer and protecting your life and the lives of your passengers and crew, you're going to give your onshore family and friends added peace of mind and a feeling of security, not confusion, about playing their part in the process. Maybe best of all, it isn't even expensive. That's the low-cost beauty of the kind of modern technology that the cyber-powered age we live in gives us. And what the internet, personal computers, notebooks, tablets, smartphones, and other tech toys have done for every other aspect of our lives has finally come to boating safety with Float Plan 1. So, how does it work? Like this. First step, join up and fill in your member captain profile. By taking you through a simple, friendly, and conversational Q&A to gather the information about you, your boat, your usual crew and passengers, and the contact info for your onshore friend or family member once. You will never have to fill in paperwork over and over again like you did in the old pre-Float Plan 1 days of float planning. Of course, you can update and will when the need arises, but the basic and vital information will be there in our database, ready for filing at any time as long as you're a Float Plan 1 member captain. We've taken the best, most important safety information about you, your boat, and the people and equipment on it from all of the leading sources of float plan formats and combined it into the most comprehensive version ever done. And we've made filling it in easy. We even let you upload photos to go with it direct from your phone's camera. Just point, click, type, and before you know it, you're done. And we've even got step-by-step instructions to walk you through it anytime, anywhere you can connect to the net on any device you choose. Second step, file your Float Plan 1 float plan electronically before every voyage with ease. When you get ready to have fun on your boat, any boat, big or small, on any water, the lake, the river, or the deep blue sea, you simply log onto your account with your smartphone or other mobile device via the app you'll download when you join up. iOS, Android, you choose. We're good with both. After a couple of clicks to make sure the info is updated and choose your current crew of passengers from the list you already filled into your account, of your circle of family and friends, or add a new one anytime. Our app will locate you via GPS, set your starting point, and ask you where you're going and when you expect to get there. Whether a long-range cruise or a simple day's round-trip journey, that information will be stored in your account, and as you leave port of departure, you will file your Float Plan 1 float plan with a simple touch of a button. In effect, you're not only filing your plan and giving your location and intentions, you're setting a kind of a cyber alarm clock, which, if you don't reset it because you're having more fun than you thought you would, or close your plan at the end of your journey on time, will be ready to sound the alarm should you be overdue by whatever interval you select. At that point, though we all hope it never happens, the information in your Float Plan 1 float plan will be transmitted to your onshore contact, and they'll be told how to get you the help that could save your property and your life. Third step, take away the confusion and concern from your onshore contact, too. Once you've chosen your onshore contacts, and we suggest you pick more than one, you can take all of their worry away by showing them a special video they can watch anytime online that will explain to them exactly what to do and how to do it. And if the time comes when you are overdue and that automatic alarm clock of Float Plan 1 system goes off and notifies them that they must act, not only will they get the Float Plan 1 float plan that you filed with all of the life-saving information it contains, they'll be given exact instructions on who to call and how, because your GPS-determined boating location is automatically matched with our database of Coast Guard and local law enforcement search and rescue authorities who are nearest and best to get to you with on-scene assistance fast. They won't just be sitting there with the old paper-style float plan, wondering when and who to talk to and worrying that they can't help you when you need help. They will know what to do and how to do it and who to contact, and better yet, they'll even be able to electronically transmit your complete Float Plan 1 float plan to those authorities directly as a PDF document by email or fax. No chance of vital stuff getting lost in translation because your onshore contact is nervous and not boating savvy. And again, they don't need a high-tech degree to do this, just the same smartphone or mobile device or computer that they, like you, are using for everyday communications now. So, like we said at the beginning, Float Plan 1 didn't invent the float plan. We just made it work. We fixed the no-fun paperwork problem by automating it. We improved on it by adding online connectivity and simplicity and the convenience of our modern smart device world. We built in a cross-referenced and instant knowledge base of who's closest and best to help you if you need it when minutes and hours really count. We made the job of your onshore contact simple, efficient, and confusion-free. And we did all that in 3 easy steps while making things astoundingly safer for you, your crew, your passengers, your expensive boat and property of any size, shape, or description, and giving those on board and those on shore you leave behind more peace of mind than they've ever had before. And although we call Float Plan 1 the app that can save your life, it isn't merely an app or a program or a database or a website. It is a real membership in a fraternity of safety-minded, fun-seeking captains like you. That's what becoming a member captain in Float Plan 1 is really all about. It is, quite simply, the smart, fun, and, yes, cool way to boat safely in our modern 21st century world. So, what's it cost? A lot less than you think. Float Plan 1 membership has a flat rate and very low annual dues amount you can charge to any credit card conveniently, and know that your confidential account information is on call for your next voyage and for every voyage, 24/7 all year long, whether you take 10 trips or 100 or more, and throughout the USA and Canada. There's also a one-time initiation fee to set up your account, but if you're a member, subscriber, or customer of a growing number of boating organizations, publications, insurance companies, clubs, and other groups, there are some serious discounts that may reduce or even waive those startup costs too. In fact, when you consider what your boat is worth and what you spend to maintain it every year, let alone what the lives and peace of mind of your family and friends and yourself are pricelessly worth to make safer and more secure than they've ever been before, you might just wonder how you can afford not to be a member of Float Plan 1, now that you know about it. And we think you'll probably also want to share this knowledge with all of your boating friends who look to you to find out about the next big thing. And we've even got a way to thank you with even more savings and security when you do. Ready to get started? It's as easy as a few clicks, and as important as the safety of everyone you care about and love. Welcome to safety, security, convenience, and peace of mind. Welcome to finally making the long-standing and long-suggested process known as float planning a simple, comprehensive, and fun process that just plain makes too much sense to skip anymore. Welcome, too, to those brave and dedicated 5% of you who have already been doing float plans the hard way and have now found a kinder and gentler way to keep on keeping yourself and your boat safe out there. Welcome, Member Captain, to Float Plan 1, the app that can save your life. Your membership benefits and your safety are just a few little clicks away. For even more information and to become a member captain right this minute, visit us at floatplan1.com. Thanks.